everybody. I'm an associate member of T3 Trading Group, which is an SEC registered broker-dealer and member of FINRA SIPC. All my trades are placed through T3 Trading Group. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your own financial condition. Position disclosure should be pretty much the same as yesterday. Man, those shorts are painful. We called the market breakout yesterday. Really started with Pat into the close yesterday, and then I echoed him in the afternoon meeting yesterday, and then I echoed it again this morning. The market technicals just looked right for it. The market technicals are beautifully strong here. A couple 2-3 week consolidation here, satisfying the upside extension we had from the 80 EMA, the 21 EMA. The price action from Friday and yesterday set us up for the breakout today. Friday, bad news came out. We sold up for 20 minutes, V-bottomed, created a really healthy looking downside tail. Yesterday, more bad news. Market barely downticked at all, closed on highs, right into resistance. The upper level consolidation within the confines of the broader consolidation is a very, very bullish pattern that I really like. And then we broke out. So, that's it. We talked about it in the morning meeting. I can't remember the last time I hated a bull market as much as I hate this one, to be totally honest. I see every reason for us to not go higher that is not technical analysis related. And the technicals, that's why they're so important. The technicals tell you how to time your trades. They tell you how to enter your trades. They tell you how to manage your risk on the trades. That's why they're so important. Because I can point to a million reasons why I feel like this market should not be continuing higher right now. From the fact that we're losing the systematic bid to all of the uncertainty that seems to not only exist, but seems to have been accelerating recently in terms of the trade war, the deteriorating economic numbers that are potentially set up to deteriorate further. All those reasons do not matter. All that matters is that the market was up another 0.5% today for the SPYs. That 0.5% number seems like it is so much less than we actually went up. I felt like we were up like 4% on the day today, but it was really individual stocks. It was AI. It was semiconductors. Q's up 0.7%, and they're trading down a little bit, so 0.7%, including trading down from where they closed off of the CrowdStrike earnings. CrowdStrike is trading down. IWM really woke up today with relative strength, up 1.7% today. Market just incredibly, incredibly strong, and we called it. We called the breakout. I hate this market. I don't want this market to go up. My shorts that I have on are running me over. They're forcing me to peace out for losses, and I really don't want to, but I have to for risk management purposes do that. But we called it. This market is breaking out. It looked fantastic coming into today. It is no surprise that we broke out today. And the thing is, we're not extended at all. Pat was also saying that into the close. Sometimes if I'm like stuck in a short or whatever, it's almost always if I'm stuck on a short, it's because the market is at like extreme extension and then got even more extended. And I can kind of hang my hat on the fact of, well, market's extremely extended here, so I'm enduring some pain today, but I'll be able to work my position and make it back, and we're going to time and price correct eventually. This market has no need to time or price correct right now. You could argue that today is a day 2, but really it's day 1 of the breakout. SPY's breaking out through the 593 to 595 area, looking fantastic, closing near highs. Q's breaking out through the 525 breakout zone. We did have that one false breakout on Thursday of last week, but we're clearing those highs from Thursday of last week. We're clearing the more real resistance area of QQQ 525. No extension, really. We're extended by $6.50 in the Qs. That's nothing in this market. It barely gets us in the no man's land, and the ADMA will catch up even further tomorrow. So, again, from a technical analysis perspective, this market has no reason to stop running. I hate to say it, but it's got no reason to stop running. It's got no reason not to run to all-time highs at this point. that next resistance zone at 610. The technicals just look fantastic, and there's nothing else I can even say about that. I scratch my head on who is buying the market still at this point at these prices. But, somebody is apparently. Uh, so, market just continues to squeeze higher and looks fantastic, ignores every piece of bad news, every piece of uncertainty. Nothing matters except the technicals, and we're buying them up. And that's pretty much all I got. I mean, I want to point to more and more things I just think look unhealthy. The degree of the squeeze that's coming from some of these stocks, it just doesn't look healthy to me. It looks so last leg, but again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The market's breaking out and it's going higher. That's all that matters. And like I said in the morning meeting, you could have a bear hat on, and you could have plenty of good reasons to have that bear hat on. You might end up even being right, but let the technicals confirm it. Short the failed breakout. If we fail back through the breakout levels that we broke above today, that's SPY 593 to 595 area, the QQQ 525 area. If the market's going to fail because my bearish thought process or your bearish thought process is correct, it's going to lose those levels. It's going to give a failed breakout. And then you could short that failed breakout, and then guess what? Failed moves lead to fast moves, because this upside move today probably squeezed out a lot more shorts and forced in a lot more longs. And I'm not calling for a failed breakout at all, but if you've got the bear hat on and you're dying to be short, just be patient. If you're right, you'll get a failed breakout. You can short that, and it'll be a good trade, because from a failed move comes a fast move. And if you're wrong, you don't get hurt, because you weren't just blindly shorting on the way up. And that's the benefit of using technicals in your trading, is the technicals confirm when your thought process and when your thesis is correct. And sometimes your thought process can be correct, but it might not be correct timing wise. And by using good technical analysis skills, you don't get hurt on that. Or sometimes your thought process, your thesis could just be outright wrong, and you also don't get hurt because your trade never triggers, because the price action never confirmed that you were right. So technical analysis is super important. We'll see what happens. Do we get a day 2 to 3, like a day 2 breakout, day 3 up tomorrow? Maybe. Do we end up getting a failed breakout? Maybe. I still think that some of that will be dependent upon the economic numbers that we have this week. I think tomorrow we have services PMI. Thursday, I think we have weekly jobless claims, and Friday's the really big one with the non-farm payrolls. So, who knows? You want to gamble on non-farm payrolls coming in worse than expected and be short a market as it's breaking out. Good luck. It's not the move. But this market's been showing us this tremendous amount of underlying strength, particularly at the end of last week. I was blown away by how some of these headlines that would have destroyed the market in April or the first half of May are just completely being ignored. I went over it in yesterday's afternoon meeting, but like the best example is you look at a little bit of a deterioration in these U.S.-China relations that we were seeing on Friday, leading to like a $4 or $5 downtick in the SPYs, when the improvement of the relationship and the tariff pause was able to bring us up like $20 or more. I don't even remember what the number was, but that just shows you that's just the environment that we're in right now. So if you bought the breakout today, that's a great trade, nicely done. And if you are struggling to buy that breakout because you're getting in your own way by thinking too much, I'm in that camp. At least you can do your best to not hurt yourself by, not just blindly shorting things on the way up. But some of these stocks are wild. CoreWeave, holy cow. I mean, this is insanity to me. I know that there was news. I know it's low float post IPO. I don't even dislike the company, to be honest. I just think at $150, this is getting absurd. But, that's the thing about these recent IPOs when they're breaking out and they're going like this. This thing could go to 170, go to 175. Like Pat said, it will stop going up eventually. But your guess on where that is as good as mine. So I think that's really all I got. There's not really too much to talk about. The market gave its technical breakout today. The JOLTS number was a little bit better than expected, and that helped. JOLTS typically isn't the most important number in the world. There's a lot of nonsense in that number, but it is a number that has been market moving in the past. And right now, employment is just so important to the economy and to continuation of this market that seeing the job openings better than expected certainly helped as well. So that is all that I've got. Happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. All right, what do we got here? CrowdStrike getting smoked. Is it still getting smoked? CRWD. Yeah, a little bit. Hewlett Packard though. Hewlett Packard is the future. HPE running. I thought that didn't this symbol used to be HPQ? Oh, that's the other one, right? HPE. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've traded a Hewlett anything. QBTS running too. Yeah, I'm surprised they're not running this more, to be honest. That HIM short that we communicated was a great trade. That's what I said. They usually sell the company doing the acquiring. It was very weird to me that they were running that up pre-market, outside of the fact that they're just buying anything and everything these days. From Eli, what are your thoughts about the fact that the market was very concerned about that auction a couple weeks back, but now is ignoring it? So what we know about the bond market is it is the speed of the move as much as it is where absolute interest rates are that matter. And overall, this TLT has been doing a fantastic job kind of consolidating. So that is not as bearish. And, we did sell off on that auction, whatever that was, a week and a half ago. But we bought back up, and we never really broke the key levels. That Goldman note said that we need the 10-year above 4.7% by the end of May. It didn't break, and now May is over. 5% seems like it's the more absolute level. So you need a fast move in the TLT to below like 82.50, I think, for this market to get concerned. So for now, the interest rate thing, a little bit. We still need to monitor it, of course, but it's a little bit become a non-event, at least for the moment. It's another one of those factors that is out there that could really begin to influence things at a certain point. But for the moment, it seems like that is on pause, and we should just keep an eye on it. From Liam, with this thesis on the market, what is keeping you in your shorts? So I mean, look, I am still having a bearish thought process on the market. It's just exactly like I'm saying about the technicals not confirming it. So, you need to manage your risk appropriately. I do have as I discussed this, I think, in a recent afternoon meeting in the last week or so. I have a game plan in place for how I reduce risk on my positions and take losses in them. And that, for me, at this point in my career, is really not just like, I'm going to put a 10,000 share stop loss out and just stop myself out of my entire position. It's just not how I operate. The way that I do it is I kind of massage the position out for a loss over time while giving it the opportunity to pay me back a little bit, to give me the opportunity to work the position a little bit. God forbid, give me the opportunity to have the trade even work. So, it's kind of where I'm at. As things are breaking out and they're making new highs for some of the names I'm in, I am, beginning to take losses in them. I probably should have done that a little bit more aggressively today than I did. But I will continue that process tomorrow. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. Your game plan is two-sided. Your game plan is for how you are going to manage reward when your trades work and maximize reward, and your other side of the trade is how you are going to manage risk and take losses when the trades are wrong. So I don't know if my trades were wrong on the short side, but they're definitely too early, significantly too early, and that's the same as being wrong. So that's where we're at. Thoughts on Tesla's technical picture? Yeah, so Tesla's not looking great. It's okay as long as it holds above yesterday's low. Yesterday's low is like 333. It's like that 330 to 333 I think is really important. If Tesla loses 330 to 333, it's starting to look pretty bad. You could make an argument that it is still bullish as long as it's holding above those levels, but I would point to the relative weakness to counter that. So technicals are still, I guess, intact and relatively bullish as long as it's above the 330 to 333 level. However, I would note the relative weakness in there that makes it not as good. And, I know you asked about the technical picture, but we had Elon Musk coming out and bashing Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill today, which I think is fascinating that that's happening, just from the perspective of someone who is short Tesla. Because it seemed like he alienated his whole traditional base on the left to spend, what was it, $250 million or something like that to help Trump get elected, just to now start pooping all over his big, beautiful bill and probably pissing him off and losing the potential of the benefit of having the president of the United States as your boy that you helped get elected. I don't know. It seems crazy to me. So now, what is everybody gonna hate him on the left and the right? Who's gonna buy their cars? Who's gonna buy the car? Who's gonna get into the robo taxi if everyone hates him? I don't know, but watch that 330 level on the downside. Alibaba. Yeah, Alibaba's very out of play. Alibaba, I do have a position in it. If you're involved in it, you're just kind of betting on the stimulus to the market, the Chinese economy kind of coming into play, and being able to kind of negate the negatives that are coming from the trade war. It's pretty much where it's at. But the technicals here, the stock looks very out of play. It's got to get back above 120 to start looking healthy again. Yeah, so I don't know. CRWV making new after hours highs. Let's go. Why not? Let's see here. Let me pop over to the YouTube. Gabriel on CCJ. Looks great. Weekly base and daily making a flag below time highs. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that they sold the nuclear names off the open this morning. I thought that CEG news, wow, they also really sold that CEG. That's super interesting because they're buying everything. They're buying everything right now. And the CEG gets great news with Meta that you would think would be good for the entirety of the nuclear stock universe. And they really sold these down. So I know that the pattern on the CCG looks pretty good. SMR, like you could argue that pattern looks good overall. OKLO, but those candles are disgusting today. They almost kind of ruin the pattern. So I'd be very careful. CCJ doesn't look as bad as like SMR does or CEG does. And UUUU got bought up. But I would be careful after seeing some of these nuclear names sell off today. They should have went. Today was really great for Bitcoin-related names. I don't want coin. Yeah, coin I saw was on fire. Interesting to see that the side bit rolled down too. Oh, it's selling off more after hours. That's why this daily candle looks that way. Yeah, coin I saw at a certain point today was a monster. I feel like people are chasing other names now, like this Carvana to give another leg up. But now people are like, I want the next Carvana. And I was saying in the morning meeting to don't worry about the next Carvana, just buy Carvana. but also I get it. Like you got pins that you could have been looking at today, and pins gave us a pretty good trade on an upgrade. This XYZ thing, block square XYZ, whatever they're calling it, also broke out and continued a little bit on that. So we'll see. CRWV maybe parabolic short this week. Yeah. 2 more gap and goes maybe would make a better setup. Yeah, I agree with you. So CRWV, as absurd as it looks up here at 150 with the ADMA at 118, I guess today was like I don't know. It kind of feels like a day one, to be honest. I know technically the last 2 days were positive for the stock, so you could argue that it's a day 3, but when I'm measuring candles like that, I want to be measuring them more like this, right? Like big day, little bit of a rest day, but still green, big day, and then gapping up on day 5. Could you say that today was a day 3? Yeah, you could say that, but these first 2 days were just kind of retracing a little bit of the last sell-off. And then today was really like day 1 of the breakout. And it's similar when you look at the indexes too. Like you could argue that today's a day 2, but really it's the day 1 breakout, right? So this market, if it wants to be super strong, and does not have a failed breakout, which I think maybe still could happen, but just purely based on the technicals, this could be like a day 1 for the market that leads to a day 2, that leads to a day 3, that has us at 610 in the blink of an eye, especially if some of these economic numbers go well this week. And then CRWV just being the crazy mean recent IPO stock. They're running it after hours, as they sometimes do with these names, just to further hurt everybody. CRWV could do the same thing. Like this could be day 1, tomorrow is 165, day after tomorrow is 185, and that's where your short really is. And the lockup expiration is still pretty far out. Yeah, and that's important too. Those lockup expirations a lot of times is when you see recent IPOs that are moving this way lose their mojo. I've seen it many times. From Michael, hey Dio, thanks for everything you do here on YouTube. No problem, Michael. Appreciate it. You should consider uranium. Lots of tailwinds right now. I'm in URNJ. URNJ. I don't know this one. Oh, it's an ETF. Junior uranium miners. Look at that. The volume on this is a little bit too light for me. I don't like trading things that do less than 500,000 shares in a day as a general rule. It's even gappy on the 5-minute. So just probably not enough liquidity for me in this one. But I get the idea behind it for sure. Let me look at the URNM to see if there's a little more liquidity there. URNM looks like it's got a little bit more liquidity, but it's also pretty light. But there's plenty of the individual ones that you could just focus on. We're just talking about CCJ. I do think that overall those patterns look really good, but I don't like, I'm just repeating what I said earlier on Gabriel's comments. This CEG might be a little bit of a canary in the coal mine for some of these uranium names with the way that they sold it. URA, yeah, that's the one I prefer to trade. Thanks for reminding me, Tate. Yeah, URA. And URA looks fantastic. CCJ still looks really good. UUU looks really good. Just really interesting to see CEG, OKLO, and SMR getting sold down the way that they did. I know those are different companies. Like that SMR is trying to do something very specific in the, small boxed nuclear energy as opposed to small modular reactors. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Or phrase I'm looking for. So they're trying to do something a little bit different than like a CCJ. So it's a little bit of a different play. But I just still think it's interesting that they sold them down the way that they did. Also from Michael, MVST. Oh, that's your name. MVST. How's that thing doing? Microvast. MVST. Yeah, doing good. Doing good. You've been all over this thing. We're getting paid. Took some profits and you moved them to CISO. Okay, a little cheap for me on this one. Don't like that candle 2 days ago. It's got to get back up at 140. It's a lower float cybersecurity company that cleaned up their books and is profitable. Okay, I like that. I like the space too. I like that cyberspace. Tate saying I would call the URA, UUU, CCJ more like the rare earth trade. Okay. Makes sense. I haven't done a ton of research on those stocks individually, to be totally honest. I just know that they move on the nuclear headlines. And we have seen them move on the rare earth stuff also. REMX. Rare earth metals ETF. Yeah, I had an okay day today. Also super low volume, but even if I don't want to trade this REMX because of the volume, it's worth knowing that this exists so that you can just look at it and see how it's trading as a proxy for rare earth. What else, guys? Anything else? All right, yeah, straightforward breakout day. We called it in the morning meeting. We called it in yesterday's afternoon meeting. The technicals looked great for it. Now the question is, do we get the day 2? Do we get the day 3? Today was the day to buy, though. Today was the breakout day. Today was the day to buy all that stuff. And we communicated a number of those names that were viable for breakouts in the morning meeting today. So I hope some of you guys caught it and made some money. I certainly did not. Just my short swings just kind of ran me over a little bit today, which was expected. I knew that was going to happen if we broke out. So is what it is. Tomorrow is a new day in the battle. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. Yeah, I am, Tate. Like 10 to 15. Just paying attention to it is just like a general zone.